Welcome back, curious people. Today I'll be showing you how to change the battery in your car remote. The remote here is a 2017 Toyota Corolla remote, but many Toyota models will have a very similar operation to replacing the battery as they have a very similar remote. In order to replace the battery, you'll obviously need the remote, a name brand quality battery to ensure a long battery life. The battery this Corolla remote uses is a 2016, a 2016. You will also need a tool to pry the remote open. I'll be using a broken key extractor, but really you could use a small flathead screwdriver or anything close in size. Step 1 is to remove the remote case. In the very top of the remote, there's an area to pry at. Be sure not to be too forceful, as you don't want to break the remote case, and really it does not require a whole lot of force to get this thing open. Once open, be sure to turn the remote over so that you don't lose any of the buttons, but if you do, I will show you how to put them back later on in this video. Remove the internal case, which houses the battery that you'll be looking to replace. Again, carefully pry along the sides. Once you pry these few clips, it should open right up. Once this case is open, go ahead and remove the battery. Again, being gentle while prying. Once the battery is removed, you can go ahead and replace it with the new battery. Be sure it's in place before putting the cover back on. Once you're sure that it's in place, feel free to install the cover. Once the cover is installed, you can go ahead and seat that case back inside the remote. Again, just be sure that it's seated so that the buttons will make contact. And put the cover back on the back of the remote. And you have a working car remote. Now I'll show you what to do in the event that the buttons fall out of the remote. Start by flipping it over, knocking all the buttons out. Thankfully, the buttons go back into place fairly easily. I'll start with the lock button. Falls into place very nicely. This next button, I'll show you what happens if you try to do it upside down. The button does not install properly, doesn't seat into its spot very well. If that is happening to you, then all you have to do is pop the button back out, flip it over, and try it with a different orientation. Once flipped over, it falls into place very easily. Next is the panic button. These two are very easy, hard to mess them up. Falls into place. And the very last button. Perfect. And that is the trunk button, just for reference. Again, make sure the case is seated very nicely in there so the buttons can make contact. Put the cover back on the back of the remote, and make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you.